teams missing an all-time great player over the first 14 games of the season aren't supposed to start with a 10-4 record. It just doesn't happen. But the Lakers did it. They did it because Luka Doncic has been playing like the best player in the league. Austin Reeves is having the strongest start of his career. The role players have stepped up and the offense actually held together. And now they've added LeBron James back into a team that's already figured out how to win. And in his first game back, it looked scary good. Suddenly, a team that was supposed to be just fighting to stay afloat might actually be one of the most dangerous teams in the NBA. LeBron made his long-awaited return against the Utah Jazz, a team that always seems to be on the wrong side of some historical Laker moments. And they were just a part of another. But it didn't start that way. The first quarter looked exactly like what you'd expect from a team trying to reintegrate a superstar. The Lakers started Rui Hachimura over Marcus Smart, which wasn't the defensive look I was hoping for, and early on, it was a complete mess. The Jazz jumped out to a 16-6 lead. Luka coughed up the ball 4 times in the opening frame, and the Lakers gave up a nasty 36 points in the opening quarter. But every time LeBron touched the ball, good things began to happen. Even in his first game back, his first real touch came late in the first quarter as he comes downhill and then kicks it out to the corner shooter for 3. Early in the second, he knocks down a catch and shoots 3 of his own. Then he starts running the offense out of the post. A no-look alley-oop to DeAndre Ayton. A nice pass to Marcus Smart, cutting for a layup and skip passes to shooters. He ends the first half with 7 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists on 50% shooting. And it really felt like he barely shot the ball. He was stabilizing everything, letting Lusa and Reeves cook while only stepping in when the offense really needed an adult in the room. And the fact that his first bucket came off of a catch-and-shoot 3 might be a sign of how his role evolves this season. Then came the second half. LeBron showed everybody exactly why he still has a massive role to play in this offense. He's catching a hit-ahead pass from Luka and then making the smart decision to drop it off to Austin Reeves for an open layup. I mean, that is beautiful basketball. Then he hit a nice mid-range jumper and then he started absolutely picking apart the Jazz as a passer in the fourth quarter. 6 assists in just 5.5 minutes, 12 inches total, a double-double in his first game back. And most importantly, he kept his game streak of scoring at least 10 points alive, notching his 293rd straight game with at least 10 points. I mean, that is absurd. Most teams without their superstar for 14 straight games to open up a season would completely sink or at least hover around 500. But the Lakers went 10-4 without him. And when LeBron came back, he instantly made everybody's lives easier in a game where they put up 140 points. Most superstars returned to save their team, but LeBron returned an upgraded one instead. The crazy part is, LeBron did not come back to rescue a broken roster. He came back to a version of Austin Reeves that looks nothing like the undrafted role player who originally showed up in LA. This season, Austin Reeves has had stretches where he legitimately looks like an all-star level shot creator. When Luka had to miss time, Reeves didn't just hold things down, he completely took over games. We've seen AR live at the free throw line, run really high-level offense out of pick and rolls, manipulating defenses, and carrying the offensive side of the floor in a way that simply was not possible just 2 seasons ago. And when you zoom out, the leap becomes obvious. He's handling the ball far more. He's seeing the floor better. He's getting to his spots, even on nights where the jumper isn't falling. And it's this version of Austin Reeves who just does not look like a role player anymore. He looks like someone who believes he should be the best player in the gym on any given night. And with some of the performances this guy has had this season, he's got every right to believe that. But the best part of all of this for the Lakers is that he does not have to be, now that LeBron is back, Reeves doesn't have to be the permanent second option. He now slides over to this overqualified third option role where he can attack tilted defenses, destroy second units, and punish teams every time they try and load up on Luka or collapse on LeBron. And in that game versus the Jazz, he showed that even with LeBron and Luka in the game, he can still have a really big night. 26 points on 63% shooting, 11 of 12 from the foul line, and constantly getting into the paint, forcing contact, and putting so much pressure onto Utah's defense. The leap of Austin Reeves this season might just prove to be the difference between we need LeBron to save us and we're really good. Now, LeBron just turns the difficulty down for everybody else. And if this is your third option, good luck stopping this Lakers team when they're firing. And then there's Luka Doncic. He became the first Laker to open up a season with 3 straight 40-point games, and he has not slowed down since. He's averaging 34.6 points per game, along with 8.5 rebounds and 9 assists on 62% true shooting. Luka is getting into the paint far more than he's ever done. And so much of that, I believe, comes from that conditioning work he put in over the offseason. He just appears to have more left in the tank later on in games. Now, which is letting him absorb contact, finish through bodies, and get to the line at a career-high rate of 12.5 free throw attempts this season. A 2 full attempts higher than his second best season back in 2023, and he's doing all of this in just his first full season with the Lakers. It still doesn't feel real seeing him in the purple and gold, but the production is completely undeniable. We've already seen the full spectrum of the Luka experience. Nights like his 386-7 on the Hornets, where he basically walked in, controlled the game the whole night, and wins you a game with what feels like one eye closed. And then you've got nights like the Oklahoma City disaster, early frustration fouls, overwhelmed by elite length and athleticism, arguing with the refs all night, mentally checking out, and then finishing with just 19 points on 20 shots, along with 4 turnovers. But since that game against the Thunder, Luka has responded exactly how a superstar should. He put together a 247-12 performance while controlling the game, even when his jumper wasn't quite there against New Orleans. And then came the beatdown versus Milwaukee. 41 points, 8 of 20 from the foul strike, and single-handedly stopping every Bucks run before it could even start. At one point, he goes off on this 9-0 personal run with back-to-back step-back threes, just to remind the Bucks that the comeback is definitely not happening. I mean, the Lakers built a 30-point lead in the first half in this game? That's ridiculous. But the wild thing is, it isn't just the scoring. Luka didn't just replace LeBron's points while he was out. He replaced LeBron's gravitational pull, the way defenses load up on him, the help they send, and the rotations that a defense has to commit to. It's the same level of attention that LeBron has commanded for 2 decades. You can see it every time Luka gets to on the ball, and the Lakers instantly create open threes and wide open and backdoor cuts. And the games that Luka missed only made his value louder. Without him, the offense became a bit fragile. The possessions got heavier, and suddenly every Reeves drive or 8-8 touch matters a whole lot more than it should. With Doncic, everybody slides into the right role, and the whole offensive system made sense again. If Luka kept the Lakers alive without LeBron, he might be the reason why they become unstoppable with him. But this brings us back to LeBron. After missing the opening 14 games of the season, the Lakers had to find a way to win without him, and they actually built a real identity in the process. A top-tier offense whenever Luka was on the floor. Austin Reeves learning how to run an NBA offense as a primary creator. DeAndre Ayton stacking up some of the most effective scoring nights of his career. Rui Hachimura becoming this mix of a dependable shooter and mid-range exactor. Marcus Smart stepping in and giving them real defensive identity, providing chaos, physicality, and leadership on that end as this Laker team was winning ugly games. They were executing late, and they were able to hold the line. But then came the reality check. OKC 128 to the Lakers 99. Down by 37 points midway through the third quarter. 20 turnovers, 26 points off of those turnovers for the Thunder, completely overwhelmed by the size and athleticism at every position. Austin struggled. Luka struggled. Rui wasn't able to post up mismatches. Ayton was completely erased. And the Thunder exposed every single hole in the Lakers roster construction pretty much in one night. And that's exactly where LeBron matters. Not as the high usage scorer that he used to be, but as something way more scarier for the rest of the NBA. A supercharged connective piece layered onto an offense that already ranks 8th best in the league. And we immediately saw this against the Jazz. He wasn't dominating the ball or hijacking possessions. He was mainly looking to score off the catch, played out of the post, and pushed in transition when it was available, spending most of his time just organizing everything. Hit-ahead passes from Luka turned into 2-1 second. Reeves' cuts became clear layups instead of contested finishes. Ayton turned into a lob threat instead of a post-up bailout. Role players like Gabe Vincent and Jake LaRavia suddenly looked playable because the ball was hitting them in rhythm instead of with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. And then came the fourth quarter, a full-on dying clinic. A pocket pass to Jackson Hayes for a wide-open dunk out of a pick and roll. A cross-court skip pass to Gabe Vincent, who was good enough to sidestep for the three. A baseline drive into a no-look dime to DeAndre. And then on the very next possession, he hits him for another no-look dime. Then a post-up touch where he finds the cutting Jake LaRavia, who throws it down for the foul and one on this one. He misses the layup, somehow gets it back, and then sprays it cross-court to Lavia for the wide-open three. 6 assists in about 5.5 minutes. 12 total, getting to double-digit scoring, providing the team with high IQ defense, directing traffic, jumping passing lanes, and saving broken possessions. It did not look like a superstar just trying to shake off the rust. It looked like a veteran point guard stepping into a Draymond Green type role. If Draymond could give you 20 points whenever he wanted. And that is exactly what this Lakers team has been missing. They learned how to play without him just fine. But now they get to learn how to win because of LeBron's return. He's going to give this team the half-court stability when defenses take away Luka's favorite looks. Transition quarterbacking when they can get stops. The defensive communication to keep everybody in the right spots. And a LaTeX game closer who has seen every coverage the NBA can throw at him. The game at Oklahoma City showed us what their ceiling isn't just yet. The Milwaukee game showed us what it could be, and LeBron will ultimately be the guy who decides which version we see more often. But the Utah game gave us our first glimpse. The game against the Jazz feels less like a finished product and more like a preview. The defense wasn't great. The lineups certainly weren't perfect, and the offense had a lot of clunky possessions early, but all the ideas were there. Luka and LeBron connecting in transition with those full-court dimes. Austin Reeves operating off their gravity. Ayton finishing plays at the rim instead of trying to initiate them. And every role player being put in the spots that they need to be, making their workload far more simpler and not very difficult. Basically just catch and shoot threes and backdoor cuts. The Lakers have not been this healthy in years. I mean, they don't have a single injury on their roster right now. And that game gave us the first glimpse of what a fully healthy Lakers team's going to look like now that you've got LeBron James back in the mix. So, the question isn't whether or not the Lakers are legit. We've already seen the version of this team that survives a brutal schedule, gets wins on the road, and blows out a good team like the Bucks without LeBron, Rui, or Marcus Smart. The real question is whether the rest of the league is prepared for what they look like when LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves are all having incredible games all at the same time. Because if the Utah game is the floor for what this team's going to look like with LeBron back from injury, then the ceiling might be a lot higher than anybody expected before the season started. But if you think the Lakers are looking scary right now, wait until you see what Giannis has been doing so far this season. And if you want to see that full breakdown video, you can click here to watch it right now.